fed my Christmas tree her daily drink of water. Now I'm off to my fiber arts social group. This is what the house looks like. Not bad. And for context, it is only 6 p.m. Look how dark it is. It's really pretty. I never film at night, and that's because I'm not out at night. That's funny. Sitting down to paint is always the best part of my day. When I don't get to paint, it is kind of puts me in a bad mood. I don't know how else to describe it. I am painting. Actually, I don't really know what this is. Maybe I'd almost say it's a hydrangea, but it's not. I can see that it's not, and it almost looks like a foxglove, but I also am not too sure. Anyway, it's a cone-shaped flower with a lot of great yellowy green in the top and purple, which is great because I bought some amazing new purples. Unfortunately, I've acquired a bit of an art supply purchasing habit, but I figure there are worse vices. Don't let anyone tell you that watercolor's easy. I don't find that it is. I find it's actually more challenging. You have to let go of control, and that can be very hard, especially as a beginner artist. You just don't exactly know where that water is going to go, which can be kind of a little frustrating. And you kind of don't get to go back on it, unlike oil, where you can layer it up. So if you think I'm some sort of naturally artistic person, I'm not. I wouldn't even really describe myself as a visual person. I'm a words first, visuals second kind of person, but it's weird. In the spring, I just woke up and thought, you know, I want to create art. I don't know why. Like, I haven't really been into art since I was a kid. I just felt this urge. It's kind of strange. However, it's been extremely rewarding. It gives me time to quieten what's going on in my head, just to make something really nice. Kind of like therapy in a way, you know? Ooh, I do not like how that turned out, but it will. Just keep moving forward when that does happen. Buds, I guess, will make this into buds. I'm not entirely happy with this. This happens sometimes, and I have learned to just let it go. It's okay. This is a sketchbook. It's okay for things to be imperfect. We're trying things, we're pushing ourselves. That is the purpose of keeping a sketchbook as opposed to making a painting. Ooh, yeah, I don't like that at all. But it's okay. Very impressionistic. I'm gonna let that dry now. Okay, if you want to see the finished product, these orange slices I was working on, this of course, and then not too much. This is a pretty new sketchbook for me, and it's big. I like it. Another thing I like to do is practice drawing every day. If I don't get to it during the daytime, I'll do it after dinner. When I started to do watercolor, I really realized that if I was going to be happy with my work, I had to learn how to draw, which I did not know how to do at all. And it's been difficult. It's hard to train yourself to draw as a new skill, but so worth it. It's very gratifying now to see like a flower and be able to draw it, have an idea of something like a Christmas wreath and be able to sketch it out. These were not skills I had before April of this year, so if I can, you can too, seriously. My style is still quite cartoony, but it's improving. I just love setting aside a bit of time every day to work on some drawing. I've been loving these Japanese Sailor fountain pens. They're reasonably priced. I always thought that fountain pens were very expensive. I don't know why I thought this, probably because they were once upon a time very expensive, but you can get these at most art stores, or I'm sure you can get them online. They make really nice gifts if you know someone who loves fountain pens. They're very scratchy on the paper though, so if you have someone who doesn't mind a scratchy feel, they're very nice. They're, I'm sure, around $12. This is my favorite one. It's the 45-degree angle one. That is, I think, brown. And then there's a green one. I would say don't get this green one unless the person is into art. This green one makes very wide strokes that are kind of hard to control. There's a big learning curve with this one, but with this one, no problem at all. I use these every day. My two favorite drawing tools, these Sailor pens. Not to go on a pen nerd tangent, but I used to think you had to refill them all. You don't. You can just buy these little cartridges and you just shove the cartridge in. And it's very easy, very convenient, and not messy, because I remember them being really messy when I was in high school, and it's not like that anymore. They've definitely perfected. I mean, they probably did back then. It's probably just what I happen to own, but so good. Like, I'll never go back, I don't think. Really enjoy these. For drawing. For writing, maybe not so much. There's still a bit of a learning curve. Here, I'll show you. little recipe for you, but before that, I got something to show you. It snowed. I woke up to a bit of snow, and unfortunately it's also windy. But look. So what happened was I got to thinking, I don't love making breakfast. I'm kind of struggling to think of what to eat in the mornings because I'm just not that hungry. I've never been. I've always been that way. So I tried to remember back something that I enjoyed that was kind of light that could keep me going without me having to make an actual breakfast. And that was bulletproof coffee. But I found bulletproof coffee too heavy. So I've developed this recipe instead. Let me show you. The main thing you need is unsalted butter, and you also need milk. And I'm sorry if this milk in a bag horrifies you if you've never seen this before. This is how we do it in Canada. Hopefully you can hear me over the kettle, which is also boiling. And you need some way to agitate these. Now I have a milk frother, but if you don't have this, you would typically put it in a blender and blend it all up. You have your hot coffee. You need a bit of butter. I mean, whatever to your taste is. I probably use the equivalent of about a teaspoon. Shave a bit off. I keep it in the fridge. Just drop this in. Looks like that. You see the butter's already melting because the coffee was hot. Add a bit of milk. This is, I think, 2%. In Canada, we use more milk than cream. When I was in California at the Starbucks, I couldn't find any milk on the counter. They had cream and I can't remember what else, but no milk. Because milk, the kind you would put in your cereal, is typically what we would have as an option for coffee. I have this milk frother. It's just from Amazon. I just press the button and it shakes it all up, makes it frothy. So with that all foamed up, let's have a look. It's all foamy and frothy and the butter's all dispersed. Then I just pour it into this coffee. Then this is kind of my breakfast, you know? It keeps me going, and I would describe it as a kind of creamy, soft coffee. There's no harshness. It takes out any harshness of the coffee. I told my husband to try it. He was very skeptical. He thought it was gonna be terrible. The key is using unsalted butter. It would be terrible if you use salted butter. It would be salty coffee, which actually doesn't sound that bad. But anyway, he tried it and he's like, oh, it's like a cross between coffee and tea. He drinks his tea with quite a bit of milk. So there you have it. But he didn't think it was terrible, which surprised me. Of course, many cultures around the world drink their coffee with some sort of fat or butter in it. I didn't invent this, but I have been tweaking the recipe to get it to my liking. It's the first snow of the season, and it's so nice. Ooh, it never gets old for me. I do love snow in December, and for the record, this is the only month I find snow acceptable. After December, I'm over it. Come January, I don't want it to be winter anymore, but winter's just starting. The reason for a parka, by the way, if you didn't know, this one's a little too big, it's falling down into my face, but the reason for it is this fur, or fake fur in my case, catches the snow before it hits your eyes, also catches the wind. It's like a wind muffler, or a wind muff for your face. Such a smart invention. So when it's kind of snowy and I feel like windy and snow is going to blow my face, if you wear this, it catches a lot of it before it hits you. A rare moment of quiet on this main street before more traffic and trams and everything noisy starts to pass. Everything looks so different covered in snow, right? It's frosty, it's windy, but it's still beautiful to be outside. I'm going to show you some nice houses. I always look at these. Do you see them? They're like these three beautiful, huge houses up on this hill. We're heading to the grocery store, which is across the street there. It's called Loblaws. Not my usual grocery store. It's very pricey and a little further from my home. There we go. I love watching people bring their shopping carts on this escalator. Let's see if I can find, because it makes it stick. Something with the wheels, they stick to the escalator. Ready-made food. I'm not feeling any of this. This is the fancy grocery store if you have not picked up on that, and it's huge. Why am I here? You ever come into a grocery store and then without a list your mind slips? Blabla's is really well known for its packaged, pre-prepared fridge food, a bit like Trader Joe's, I guess, but not as good, obviously. Oh, pork buns, a lot of nice pizzas. This used to be in plastic. They switched to a box. That's interesting. Let's see the prices. $12.99 for these and $11.99 for, oops, wrong way, for these. It may be weird to complain about abundance, but I find this grocery store has too much stuff and it takes forever to shop in here for that reason. Nice problems to have, I guess. Here we go. Well, that's enough of that. Whew, 2 kilometers round trip, and I'm very glad to be back inside. Oh, it's nice and warm in here. Time for lunch now. I'm doing my best Mr. Rogers impression by slipping on the old cardigan. My hair got really messy, so I'm gonna redo that. Okay, now excuse me while I change my pants, because that I am not willing to do in front of you. Do you remember at the beginning, did you see that I put this doll here? This is what I used to call a Monchichi monkey. And maybe I'm not saying that right, because I guess technically it's Monchichi. This isn't actually from my youth. This is one I purchased not that long ago because they were selling them again, but I had 2 of these dolls when I was young. I'd say maybe 5 or 6, I had 2 of them, and they're just very nostalgic. If you're a Generation X person, I'm sure you remember having one of these, and you can stick the sucker. Okay, I've got the camera following her now. This is so funny. Okay. Right. The other thing that's happening is I think I'm going to return this camera. I had really high hopes that I would love it. It is the DJI Osmo Pocket 3, and everybody's losing their minds over this camera. I'm just sitting down to do some embroidery right now. I'm finding it exceptionally hard to use in some circumstances, not least of which is that the screen is very, very tiny. But not just that, it's struggling a lot with focus hunting. So when I'm trying to shoot outwards, like it's really good at grabbing onto my face, but it's not good anytime I turn it around and I want to shoot just like some art that I'm doing or some embroidery. The focus kind of punches in and out, so it's like not able to, it doesn't know what I want to focus on. Not to mention some other problems that I think that are definitely not because I don't know how to use it, because I spent a lot of time and energy trying to get to grips with all the different features, the functions, the settings, resolutions. It just ain't all that, even though people profess to absolutely love it. I do worry that we're in this sort of strange hype cycle where products that are just not that good just get all this hype. So that's pretty bad that my iPhone is actually much better. My iPhone always catches focus. That's never a problem. But anyway, I don't want to go on some weird photography rant when this is not what this channel is all about, but I'm like just disappointed that I spent all this time and energy invested in learning how to use this device, and it's just really fallen far below my expectations. I just wanted to find something really easy for vlogging, and this ain't it. Another funny thing though is that they have this app that helps you sort of AI enhance your footage, and it's so funny because there's this like glamour option where you can put it on or you can put it off, and this glamour thing is basically like a filter, not unlike what you would see on Instagram and what they currently have on TikTok. They have a lot of different features to make you look glowed up, I guess. But because this is a Chinese product, the beauty standards in this filter are for the Chinese market. They're not for the Western market. And so what do I mean by that? I mean, you can enhance all these different things. It's crazy. You can enhance your lips. You can enhance your eyes and have like less bags under your eyes. You can brighten your skin. You can smooth. You can, this, that, and the other. But they're not made for the Western market, which cracks me up so much because if you do lips, if you want to enhance your lips and make them better, the hilarious thing about this app is that in China, I don't know if you know this, in China, it's not fashionable to have like these like pouty baby lips. It's fashionable to have more thin lips. So it actually thins your lips. So when you're enhancing your lips, it doesn't make you have like, the trout pout big lips. It actually makes them skinnier. I find that so funny. And the other thing that kind of disturbs me about it is I think brightening is the first feature that they offer, which makes you more white, I think, which says a lot about colorism, even in China in 2024. Whiter is still better. So like whatever, that's neither here nor there in a way. It's just kind of a funny thing that I've noticed. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not into that. Okay, let me show you what I'm working on. Okay, so hopefully this will explain the issue that I'm having. So I don't know if this will hold focus. And by the way, what this is an ornament. I made one, you might have seen them at the beginning. I made one for Niall, I made one for Killian. I did not make one for myself. And my husband said, well, where's your ornament? And I'm like, I didn't make one for myself. And he's like, really? So he sounded so disappointed that I'm actually making one. Not really because I want one so much as that it just seems right for each of us, I guess, to have our own customized ornament. But anyhow, I freehand drew this. So I'm kind of proud of the pattern. I think it's gonna be cute. There's the H. And then I drew some flowers and some twigs and some holly around it. But yeah, next vlog, I'll probably be either back to my smartphone or maybe I'll have acquired a different camera to test out by then. Just really frustrating all around. And here's the thing, you can't say anything. Like, I could never make a standalone video about just my problems with this. People will go crazy. These like wannabe professional photographer, videographer types have too many opinions and they will jump all over you if you don't like what they say about their favorite products. It's so ridiculous. It's like when you try and criticize a Tesla or something like that, you just get a certain cohort of these complete ding-dongs, just like, you don't know how to use it, oh, what a Karen, all this kind of stuff. So I can't even make a video criticizing this if I wanted to. You know what though? Live and let learn. Let them vlog with it and see how they like it. Not my problem. So evening is falling. I had a nice afternoon of work. I did some video editing, which is also part of the reason why I want to return this camera. When you see it on a nice big screen, you're like, this footage does not, I mean, it's fine. It's not worth the money, especially not if it's going to lose focus, where that never happened in years and years of using my iPhone. What are we doing here? But that's okay, I can return it and get my money back, so that's a good thing. But yeah, so I'm just gonna get ready for dinner soon, and that's it, really. A couple of cozy days at home. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm not sure that I'm gonna vlog again before Christmas happens, especially now that I don't have a camera and I have to go back to my smartphone or go back to the drawing board. I'm gonna spend a little bit of time embroidering. I have some watercolor to do because, you know, I like to paint every day, and I'll probably push the drawing to after dinner. That's what I've been up to these cozy winter days. I may not see you here in this format until the new year. So I want to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year if we do not chat until then, and we will see you on the next video. Look how chubby this guy's getting. Let's have a look. Holy smokes. What are you eating now?